All right, guys. So in this video, I'm going to cover where to buy land, and the video that's going to follow after this video is where to find deals. So first, when we're talking about where to buy land in this video, we're going to specifically talk about location, right? So, and that's going to vary a lot based on your goals, but I'm going to give you some direction in related to like what locations to look for when buying land. So the first thing, this is my personal approach, and it can totally vary depending on your goals, right? My first thing I look at is I start where prices are still low. A lot of the places in this country, especially where there's like big home builders or development, or there's like news of the Tesla factory that opens up somewhere and all the prices go through the roof, I try to avoid those. I go so what I wrote down is rural and lightly populated counties often offer the best value. So our primary markets where our company buys and sells land, and we have hundreds of customers that have purchased in these markets, is like Missouri, Arkansas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada. We still, buy stuff in other states often, but this is where we do a bulk of our purchasing, because land prices are still low over there. And even, if you live, let's say in Florida, if you're watching this, you live in Florida, let's just say, you can look for, you don't need to go buy land in Miami. You could buy land in other counties that are maybe 2 hours away that are still somewhat undiscovered, where the prices are still low, because that's where you'll get a good deal. You don't have to spend a bunch of your cash. So that's how we try to do it. Another good thing to look for is infrastructure. So the next point that I wrote down is follow infrastructure, not hype. So what that means is like look for areas near highways, small towns, or growing regions, not just trendy names, right? So infrastructure could mean, like a good highway system going through this town, or oh, there's, this is often like the path of transit to travel to this other state. So infrastructure is a good way to, kind of follow the infrastructure, right? And you can always look up what's called like your city's improvement plans. And even it's all free information. It's online. You can use Chat GPT and say, okay, I'm looking for land in Texas. What are some areas in Texas that have good infrastructure that I can buy land where prices are still low? So follow infrastructure, right? Because that often is the reason why things get developed or there's migration and people moving there. The third thing is check access and the essentials first. So when you're buying a piece of land, you want to prioritize the parcels with good legal road access, utilities that are nearby if that's important to you, because sometimes people want like they don't want to be off the grid, and or they want to have all the utilities and amenities nearby. So you need to check if that's important to you. Where's the power, where's the electricity? If that's important, we have customers, hundreds of them, that just want a place to go camping. They're going to take everything with them. They have solar panels and a generator, and they don't really need or they don't plan to build. But if you're planning to build and you want the all the greatest and the latest stuff, and all the amenities, look for utilities, because when you're building, it might be hard if you don't have utilities nearby. So the other thing, the last one, which is very important, is zoning. So before you buy any piece of land, if you have a specific plan for it, meaning you're like, oh, I'm buying this land because I want to build a gas station on it one day. Well, if your land is zoned residential, most likely it's going to be very hard for you to get the county to sign off on you putting a gas station there.